ho, and welcome to Sip Sip Hooray, your favorite podcast for fun stuff and cool stories about the world of wine. Today on the pod, we are sharing some wine gifting ideas for the thirsty people in your lives. Now, these are not sponsored. These are just ideas from two friends and wine fans for gifts that we think are sure to bring cheer. We are the two Marys who like to eat, drink, and be merry. I'm Mary Babbitt.
I'm Mary Orlin. Well, we've made our list and we're checking it twice. Whether you're gifting the wine lovers in your life or treating yourself, the Marys have got you covered. Sure, it's easy to pick out some nice wines or bubbly, but our gift picks are sure to bring the holiday cheer and last much longer than that open bottle of wine.
Well, we have a whole bevy of ideas for you. So, Mary, I think we should just get started. But first, we want you to know that everything we talk about will be linked on our website so you can find it. You don't need to scribble down, try to keep up as we're talking. Just go to our website at sipsiphooray.com and you'll find it there.
Absolutely. So let's do it.
Okay, our first one, the High Camp Parkside Wine Flask. This is a great gift for your friend who loves music in the park, sunsets at the beach, or maybe just hanging out with other parents during those endlessly long Little League games or the away volleyball meets or soccer games, et cetera, et cetera. The High Camp Parkside Wine Flask is a stainless steel flask on the inside, and it holds a regular 750 milliliter bottle of wine. Milliliter, excuse me. And it's a sleek thermos looking canister on the outside. So here's what's cool about it. It has two tumblers built into the flask, one at the bottom and one at the top. So you just pull them off, and the design looks like a little capsule, and you can just throw it in your beach bag and go. As High Camp says, there's no more sipping warm wine out of plastic cups or popping a cork with your shoe. This is a stylish way to toss your favorite bottle into a flask and go. So the flask is vacuum insulated, which means it'll hold the temperature of a full bottle of wine for 24 hours. And the built-in tumblers, they're the shape of stemless wine glasses, and instead of glass, they look like a Yeti-style tumbler on the outside. A cool feature of them, they attach magnetically to the flask. So it's like click, click,
nice.
Unclick, and it's super sleek and efficient. High Camp says their premium stainless steel interior means you won't be able to tell the difference between the Parkside flask and your favorite stemware. So that's my first idea. It isn't cheap, though. It's a nice gift to give. It's going to ring you $125, but you might be able to get it on the holiday sale.
Nice. Well, it sounds like it also would look really nice wherever you set it, something you'd be proud to display.
Right? It's cool. And I just love the magnetic click of those, the tumblers, and they look really nice.
Well, speaking of keeping our wine chilled, you know how much you and I love white and rosé wine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, it warms up pretty quickly once you've poured a glass.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got a solution. There is a chiller called VoChill, VoChill. They make a stemless wine chiller, or they make a wine chiller for your stemware. But basically, I have the stemless chiller, and it's this cradle that you put into your freezer for 3 hours or so. And then once you take it out, you put your glass of wine in, pour your wine, and it keeps it cool. Now, they say it'll keep it cool for an hour, but I can confirm it has kept mine cool for up to 3 or 4 hours. And what's great is that it's portable. So if you want to take it with you and say you're doing a picnic or whatever, throw it into the cooler. It'll stay cold. Then you can keep your glasses chilled. Or you can also use it to keep sparkling water or juice or whatever you're drinking cool. And for somebody like me who lives in a very hot climate in the summer, this is fantastic. I'm going to be using this a lot.
I like the idea of that. And does it sit nicely on a table?
It does. The cradle fits into a little coaster, and the coaster has rubber pads on the bottom, so it's not going to slip and slide. And you can get it in a variety of colors too. Mine is turquoise because that's the color of my house. But yeah, it's really super cool. And the stemless chiller is $44.95. The one for the stemware is $49.95. But I think it's just a really great accessory to have for when you want to keep that beverage super cool.
I'm picturing you in the desert poolside with your cool chilled glass. I love that.
That's it.
All right. Okay. Along the same lines, my next idea, it fits in right with that. It's called the Vino Buddy Wine Chiller Stick. And it is normally $39. Right now it's on sale for $29. So this is more budget friendly. If you're like Mary, Orlin, and me, you like a cold glass of white or rosé, this is a very practical gift. Here's how it works. This is a stick you keep in the freezer, and it has on this stick an attached spout. So once you open a bottle of wine, you put the chiller stick in, and you use that stick to not only keep the wine cool, but also pour your wine, because that spout is right. It's attached to the stick, and it's a drip-free spout. Now, the stick fits into any bottle, and the integrated decanting spout also aerates the wine as you pour it out, enhancing your tasting experience. So it really makes good sense. It doesn't take up a lot of freezer space. And if you're like me, and sometimes you wanted to open up some white, but you didn't have any cold, well, you get the chiller stick out of the freezer, you stick it in the bottle of wine, and in 10 to 15 minutes, you've got wine at temperature. It's not going to be freezy, but it'll be at a servable temperature that's chilled. And the chiller stick, the chill in that stick, it lasts for 2 hours.
Nice.
So the only thing is you need to, of course, keep it in the freezer. But one bonus feature that I like about this thing is it's dishwasher safe. So you can keep using it again and again. And the price, as I said, $29 right now. And I've seen them cheaper on Amazon, a different brand, but the Vino Buddy Wine Chiller Stick gets great reviews. And for $29, you can't beat that.
I need that because I so often forget to pre-chill my white or rosé, and what I end up doing is either sticking it in the freezer and forgetting about it, and
yes,
it explodes.
I've been there.
Yeah, or I'll just put a plunk of ice cube in it, which is fine, but it sounds like this stick will not dilute the wine in any way.
Not at all. And it also just eliminates the need for an ice bucket or something to keep your bottle in once you've opened it at a picnic or something like that. So I really liked that one.
That's great. Well, my next gift suggestion is glassware. And, I love elegant glassware. And there's a company that is making hand-blown lead-free crystal glassware that will compete with the big boys like Riedel and Zalto, where a hand-blown lead-free crystal glass can run you around $100. Well, the founder of Glassvin, Glasvin, his name is David Kong, and he is going directly to the glass blowers. He works with artisans in China to bring this line direct to consumer. So it cuts out the expense of the middleman. And his glasses for the universal glass starts at $39.50 a stem. And when you compare that to $75 to $100, it's really a terrific deal.
Oh, yeah.
And they're beautiful and elegant. And bonus, they're dishwasher safe.
Oh, that is fantastic, because that is the big drag of fancy stemware.
Exactly. And in fact, it's better to put these in the dishwasher. I was a little hesitant at first when I was testing it out. And so I washed and dried one by hand, and I broke it immediately because the stems are very thin, so it can be rather delicate. And they're like, no, we recommend you use a dishwasher. So
that is classic. I love that. Oh, that's got my name all over it.
Absolutely. And so they have what they call the universal glass, which you can use for anything, sparkling, red, white. They also make a red wine specific, white wine specific, and they make a stemless glass too. They also have another new line that they call GB Home, which is they are also hand blown glasses. They're a little bit sturdier, they say. I haven't tested these out, but they're a lot less expensive. They start at $24 a stem for the universal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a fun one. I really like that.
And it's a nice presentation. It comes in like a little wine glass suitcase. They come 2 per pack, and they're packed really well in very thick foam. So they're great. You can store it that way, which is what I do because I've run out of cabinet space for wine glasses.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it makes for a nice gift when it comes in a fun presentation like that.
Absolutely.
Oh, good. I like that. Well, we have a couple of wine preservers we wanted to talk about.
Yes.
I'll start us off with one that I found called the Edo wine preserver and decanter. It's described as a beautiful innovation in wine preservation, and it's got a great look. It's practical, and yet it's got an innovative design. And here's how it works. It's a glass decanter, and it on the outside, so the vessel is glass, and then on the outside, it has a copper, stainless steel, or graphite neck that is built in. And here you pour a bottle of wine into the decanter, you pour yourself a glass of wine or 2, and you simply place a lid on that decanter and push down on the neck. The whole metal piece moves down, and it works like a French press coffee plunger or one of those AeroPress manual espresso makers. They push coffee down, but this expels air out of the carafe and it locks in wine without the oxygen at the bottom. So what you get is the wine is squished down to the bottom, all the air is gone. But when you go to pour another glass of wine, you just simply pour it. There's nothing you have to do. You don't have to lift the neck or anything like that. You pour and it automatically comes up. So
cool.
Yeah. And the company says it does a better job getting oxygen out and preserving wine than you'd get with a vacuum pump or with argon gas. I haven't done the research, so I don't know that for sure, but I will say it is a beautiful design. I would say, though, that it's better as a wine preserver than a decanter because if you're having a larger dinner party, you would need a couple of these on the table, and they run $185 up to $205, depending on the design. But it really shines in the wine preservation department because you can officially keep the bottle fresh for 2 weeks with Edo, but I think you can get a lot longer than that. And there's no gas needed, nothing. It's just a push down, and you're using the force to just squeeze the air out of that thing. So I know, I thought that was really cool. And there's one fun fact I wanted to share. The name Edo is a nod to the creator of this device. His name is Tom Cotton, and he's Welsh or has Welsh roots. And Edo means again in Welsh, which works well with the goal of preserving your wine so you get to use it again.
Okay.
So for those empty bottles, it's a pretty look that can be nice on your counter or in the fridge or on the table.
Oh, that's great. I love how there's more and more options now for preserving wine. It used to be like you'd either put the cork in it and hope for the best, or maybe you'd, try to pump some gas into it and again, hope for the best.
Right.
But I think the real innovations came from the company Coravin.
Oh, yeah.
When they first developed this system where a very, very thin needle attached to a device would puncture the cork all the way through. And there was a little opening at the tip of the needle that you could pour the wine back through the cork without even taking the foil or the cork out of the bottle. And then once you poured the wine, when you released the button, then it would dispense inert gas into the bottle to preserve the wine. So, and I've been a Coravin fan for years. I've used them a lot and it works really well. It can keep wine fresh. I mean, I've Coravin bottles that I've gone back to that I forgot about that for a year or so. So wow. It does work. But the one challenge has always been sparkling wine or champagne. It's when you open up a bottle of bubbly, it's basically, you need to make sure you have enough people around to share it with to finish it that day, or you've got to drink most of it that day and the next day, or it's basically flat.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, those stoppers that you put on them really don't do anything.
Yeah.
So, but Coravin came out with a sparkling preserver that it took them a while to develop. It's a little bit different than what you use on a still wine, and it's a two-part system. It doesn't use a needle. Instead, when you open the bottle of sparkling like you would normally, and you pour a glass or two, and then you put this stopper on. It's a big stopper that Coravin developed, and it kind of locks onto the bottle. And then you take the second part of the device, it's called the charger, and inside the charger is a gas cartridge. And you just put that charger on top of the stopper, and you don't even have to press a button. It automatically dispenses whatever amount of gas is needed to fill the bottle. And then the company says that it will keep up to 2 weeks. So I did a test. I poured the first glass or so out of the device. Then the next day I opened it up and it was still very fresh and lively. Then I Coravin did again. And then 9 days later, I opened the bottle. I invited a friend over who loves bubbly. And she was like, okay, I got to see this to believe it. And when I undid the stopper, it was like it was almost like a cork pop. The pressure was still there, and poured 2 glasses of wine, and the bubbles were super frothy, super fresh, and the wine tasted super fresh. I couldn't believe it had been open for 9 days.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
I love that because, we've talked about how people, myself included, too often save bubbly for a special occasion because it seems like a big deal to have a glass of bubbly because it doesn't last once it's opened, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
You want to make sure you have people to share it with because you're not going to be able to get through the bottle, or by goodness, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
So you want to share it with friends and stuff. And this takes the pressure off of like having to finish or not waste that really good sparkling wine, and to be able to have preserved. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And it also makes it more realistic for sparkling wine to be part of an everyday meal.
Yeah.
You can have it on a Tuesday night. You don't have to wait for that celebration, and you can enjoy it again in a week or so without the feeling like, oh gosh, I have to finish it tomorrow. Well, you might not want to drink anything tomorrow.
Yes.
But I will tell you, this is your splurge gift.
Okay.
It's normally $3.99 right now. Coravin's having a holiday sale, so it's $2.79, and it comes with 2 stoppers, so you can do this for 2 bottles at a time. It comes with a charger and 4 gas cartridges. Now, the cartridges you have to replace every so often, and that's where it can get a little pricey. But here's a pro tip: once you gift this device, or you get it for yourself, you can sign up for a Club Coravin and you'll get discounts on capsules, and also you'll get email alerts for sales, and they have a lot of sales, not just on the sparkling and the cartridges, but on other models and on other accessories.
Well, I love that. And while we're on the subject of Coravin, I want to give a quick shout out to the Coravin Pivot, which is what I have. It's on sale right now for $83. It normally retails for $120. And this is a great wine preservation system for your regular bottles of wine. You shoot that little gas in and boom, your wine is good to go. And you can get up to a month with, or I'm sure longer. Mary, you said you got a lot longer than that.
Right.
But they promise you at least a month of great tasting, great looking. You don't lose the color. Your wine is preserved as it was. And it's easy to use. And I just love it. So shout out to them for that.
Absolutely. Well, we're all about saving as much wine as long as we can.
Right.
But, when we do want to indulge a little bit more, some of us have some older bottles in our collection, or some of us know folks who like to collect wine or just prefer drinking older vintages. Well, when it comes to opening an older bottle of wine, we've probably all had this experience where the cork breaks or you
Oh,
can't get
yes.
it out. It's stuck. And so it either crumbles or you have to end up pushing it down into the bottle because that's the
The
only way you're going to
worst.
get it out. Yeah.
I hate it. Yeah, the worst.
So there's this fantastic corkscrew. It's I would call it a hybrid of two types of corkscrews. It's called the Durand wine opener, and it comes in two parts. So it comes with the traditional corkscrew, the spiral that's called the worm. So step one is you put the worm into the cork just like you would a normal corkscrew.
It already sounds great. Put the worm in the corkscrew. Go ahead.
Right. But then the second part of it is what's called an Oso wine opener, which you may be familiar with. It has the two prongs that you kind of rock back and forth between the cork and the neck of the wine bottle.
Sure.
And then there's a handle on it. So once you get that in place, then you twist it out and it brings out the entire cork. And I've had my Durand for several years, and every time I've used it, I've never had a cork break. It comes out clean.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is a thoughtful gift for those fans of older wines or the people like me who have these bottles I've been saving forever and I need to get them. I need to open them. But when you open them, they're not always pristine. They're not always in great condition. So this sounds great.
Mm-hmm. Right. Absolutely. So this is $135. It comes in a nice little cork case. But, if you like older vintages or, the wine lover in your life is a big fan or has a bunch of bottles that, they need to start drinking, this is a great tool and it's sturdy. As I said, I've had mine for years. It looks brand new.
Oh, love it. Well, my next recommendation is from the website Etsy, which I love. I like Etsy because you can find those cool, unique, personal gifts. And really, there are loads of wine-related gifts to choose from on Etsy. This is one idea, but certainly if you put in wine gifts into Etsy, you can spend the whole day looking through fun ideas. So I thought this one was fun. If you have a friend with a favorite well-known winery or someone who loves Napa Valley, check out Etsy's selection of handcrafted wooden Lazy Susans, and they feature famous labels on them. Most of the ones I saw were from Napa Valley wineries, which is why I said if they're a fan of Napa Valley. So for instance, one of the stores or the little Etsy shops is called Vine Redesign. It has Lazy Susans available with Duckhorn, Dow, Farniente, Contessa, Screaming Eagle, and more on them. Another one called Alpine Wine Design. They turn wine crates into Lazy Susans for about $175. And they currently have Rombauer, Camus, Quintessa, Cakebread, Visatui, Duckhorn, and some more. But so the starting prices I saw on the Lazy Susans were about $149, and they went up to $200. So not cheap. But one of the things I really like about Etsy, and I found over and over again, is you can message the seller, and if they make these things, you can often have them customized to what you're looking for.
Ooh,
so
I
if you
love
don't
that.
see a winery you like, I bet they would be able to find it for you. Let's say you like Ridge Winery and they don't have Ridge in their little store. I bet they could figure it out for you. So it's certainly worth looking into, and it's a practical gift that allows them to, someone can put your wine bottles on the middle of the table or maybe your condiments, but it will get used. And I think it's a fun nod to somebody's favorite winery.
That's nice. And it sounds like it's something that you're not going to find everywhere.
Yeah, that's the brilliance of Etsy. I do like that.
That's great. My next suggestions are all digital gifts, and they're particularly great if you, like me, procrastinate and are doing your shopping at the last minute. You don't have to worry about, is it going to get there in time?
Mm-hmm.
So I have 4 different subscription services to recommend. The first is from Master the World. Master the World is a company that does online virtual tastings and develop these tasting kits that have 6 bottles in each. They're the 187 ml, but the technology they use is way upgraded from what you would get on an airplane, for example, so that the wines are super fresh when you open them. And Master of the World is a company started by friend of the pod and master sommelier Evan Goldstein. He and a couple other master sommeliers have curated these great kits, and there's a lot to choose from, but right now they have a bunch of suggestions for the holidays. So one thing you could do is get a monthly subscription for the wine lover in your life, or say you have a friend who really wants to learn more about wine. This is a great way that they will get something new every month to try and learn about. They have a holiday pairing kit. They have different wines around the world, or you can do something which looks really fun, that they pair a 6-bottle tasting with a game called Sommify, which they describe as blind tasting meets Chutes and Ladders, but much more rewarding. And
and I assume sophisticated, because I think I played Chutes and Ladders in kindergarten.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a board game, and it's a way to learn about different grapes, different regions, and more. So that sounds like a lot of fun. So the prices range from about $100 to $150, depending on the kit. The monthly subscription is $108 a month.
And Evan is just tremendous. So if his name's on it, you know it's going to be good.
You know the wines are going to be really good.
Yeah.
So the next one is from another friend of the pod who has also been a guest, Karen McNeil, who you may know from her book, The Wine Bible. So what you may not know is Karen also has a weekly newsletter called Wine Speed. She's been doing this for several years, and I've been a subscriber, and I just love it. She delivers little sip-sized tidbits about wine, whether it's a wine she's recommending. Maybe there's some fun facts, there's some games and quizzes, and there's just some really interesting, again, sip-sized bits of wine information that, you know, you can learn about. You can impress your friends and family at a trivia game, things like that. But so you can get a subscription. There's a $75 level and a $125 level for a year, depending on what extras come with that. And when you gift this, your recipient will get a personal handwritten note from Karen.
Oh, I love that. And it's so important to support, these journalists who are out there sharing information, digging up information, interviewing people. And, if we're unwilling to pay for it, how are they supposed to continue to do it? So Karen is just a tremendous writer and a good person. So I think that's a cool gift.
So true. The next one is for folks who enjoy watching videos. You may be familiar with the movie Somm, which opened up the secret world of the Master Sommelier exam to us 10 years ago now, in fact. That was produced and directed by a filmmaker named Jason Wise. He went on to create 2 sequels, and now he has a whole video platform called Somm TV. And on this platform, you can watch videos about different grape varieties, different wine regions. There's other movies. It's really a fantastic resource for somebody who not just loves wine, but wants to learn about wine, or maybe is planning to travel to a wine region. So you can gift a subscription for $49 a year.
Oh, that's cool. That's great. And it provides a lot of good content. That's a nice gift.
Absolutely. I watch it a lot. So it's I highly recommend it. And then there's an online platform called Sommsation, which is a team of sommeliers who they do several things. You can go on their site and look at wines that they have curated to purchase, but they also are offering gift cards for some of their virtual online tastings, and they have one called Sunday School, which I thought, oh, what a great idea, right? It's um, and I participated in one session, and it was two different wines, and it was specific varieties, and it's kind of an in-depth lesson about either the producer or the region or the variety. And it's just a fun way to spend an hour on a Sunday. And, it's my kind of Sunday school.
Well, as a former Sunday school teacher, that puts a whole new twist on the meaning of the term Sunday school. No memorizing Psalms or anything like that, I bet.
Yeah, exactly. So those are some things to check out. And again, it's all digital. It's all available at the last minute in case, you're running late. Nobody's to know.
I love those. Okay, I've got some other ideas along that same line, ideas that you may not have to go actually physically out and get. So one thought I had was the gift of a wine tasting experience. It's a fun last minute gift idea. It's helpful if you have a date in mind, like if you know someone's going to Napa and they haven't planned their whole itinerary yet. It's a great way to kind of give them an experience on their trip, or to another, or maybe down to Temecula, some other Paso Robles, some other wine tasting region. The idea is to purchase a tasting experience. Most wineries will work with you if you call them up or email them, explain you want to gift this and you want to purchase a wine experience. They have incredible options. There's the high end where you can get really fancy food and wine pairings. And then there's more affordable options, which maybe just as a charcuterie board, maybe just some cheese and crackers, or maybe just some wine. So for most places, you're not going to see less than $40 a person unless you're in a really small wine region where they may even do it gratis. But if you're up in the Napa Valley or Sonoma, you need to be prepared to pay some money for these wine experiences. There's on the posh end of things, a winery called Round Pond does a 4-course wine and food pairing tasting. That's $225 a person. Another one, Ashes and Diamonds, they do a whole steakhouse pairing thing, and that costs $320 a person. But both of those same wineries also offer more affordable wine and cheese pairings, or just wine, and those are under $100.
And both of those wineries are just, the settings are beautiful, especially Round Pond. It's really something special.
It's true. People love them. So it's a fun idea. And if you know someone has a favorite winery, that's a great thing to give them. And again, working with the winery, that's one of the things that's, because wineries are in the hospitality business, they want to help you out. They want you to like their wine, come visit their winery. So I'm guessing most will work with you to help figure out a way to gift this to somebody.
Great idea.
The other idea I had was the good old Napa Valley wine train. You can get gift cards for the wine train, either choosing your own amount or using some of their suggested amounts. And I looked into it a bit, and I found that the costs vary by time of year and day of the week, length of the experience, and the food and wine pairing experience. So their top tier legacy ride, it's all day, it's 6 hours, it has food and wine. Yeah, that's $550 a person. But they scale down to a Gourmet Express, which has lunch, and I think you get a little wine champagne off the start, and that's about $225. Another fun one they have going right now is Gurgitch Hills wine tasting and lunch. That's $320 a ticket, but you get lunch on the train and you ride out to Gurgitch and you go wine tasting at Gurgitch Hills. And that, of course, we all know Mike Gurgitch made helped put Napa Valley on the map by making the wine that won the 1976 Paris tasting. So it's a cool little quaint winery, but fun, a fun experience. So
and great wines.
Yeah, phenomenal. So something to think about. And before I forget, Mary, I wanted to suggest something that my friend Sally gifted her brother. It was the Vingard Valise wine suitcase. And the idea here is if you travel to a wine area and you want to bring some wine home, this is a suitcase that will safely carry your bottles. And it's a really nice, lightweight suitcase, hardcover, and it's got super dense foam inserts. And you can store your wine in there. So the inserts are detachable. So let's say you only want to bring, one of them is for 8 bottles of wine, one of the suitcase sizes, but let's say you're only going to bring 4 bottles home. Well, you take the other pieces out and now you have a suitcase. Half of it is your clothing. The other half is your wine. And they're really nice. They take good care of your wine. And you can have a winery ship wine to you if you go and visit and like the wine, but you're going to have to pay for that. And trying to carry it home yourself can be kind of dicey. So if you have the Vineyard valise, your wine will get home in good shape. And you're buying a wine suitcase, but you're also effectively buying a suitcase because all the components pull out. So when you're not traveling for wine, you can still use that thing as a suitcase. So, and the reason I tell you all that is because this is not cheap. The largest is $380 and it holds 12 bottles. I believe that's the largest. The 8 bottles, yeah.
That's not out of line with some of these really nice, well-made suitcases.
Agreed.
Cost.
Totally. And this is a nice, sleek suitcase that pivots well, it rolls well. The 8 bottle size, I believe, is $340. And the smallest is 5 bottles for $289. I saw these at Williams Sonoma. You can get them on the website. And I think Neiman Marcus also has them. Sally said she got it for her brother Scott for his birthday. He loves it. He uses it when he's going away for a weekend. Even if he's just driving in the car, it's a better way to carry his wine than in like a tote bag. And so he's really enjoying his. And I told Sally that she gives a lot nicer gift to her brother than I give to mine because she got the big one.
Oh, wow. She's generous.
I don't know that I've spent anywhere near that on any of my 3 brothers. So sorry, brothers, but
yeah.
I'm happy that Scott is enjoying his.
Oh, that's good. That's a great idea. And I wish I'd had that when I was in Portugal because I had to bring back bottles, stuff them in my suitcase and pray they didn't break.
Well, yeah, that's what we mostly do. You wrap them around, sometimes you can put them in a plastic insulated sleeve or you wrap them really well and you just hope they make it. So, so I thought that was kind of fun.
That's great.
I have one more silly one, unless you have another one.
No, I love silly gifts. What is it?
Okay. This is a quick silly one. You can find it on Amazon. And this is for the multitasker or someone seeking the ultimate in relaxation, but it promises to take your shower or bath to a tastier level.
Ooh.
It won't break the bank, that's for sure. It is a wine glass holder for your shower or tub, and it comes in at a whopping $14.99. The highest rated one, they're even cheaper. There's one that you can get 2 of them for $12.99. But sometimes I think on Amazon it's better to go with the highest rated.
Yes.
But it'll hold a beer can or a Coke can as well. This isn't fancy, but it's fun. You can relax with wine in the shower. I think I would use a plastic glass because, imagine breaking a shower glass in the shower. Breaking a wine glass in the shower. Oh,
that's so fun. Yeah.
No, yeah.
But you know what? How I envision seeing this, being the beauty product junkie I am, is I like to do hair masks. And when you put them on, you have to wait like 5 minutes before you rinse them off.
Yes.
And so I'm always like trying to figure out what can I do in those 5 minutes. But if I had a glass of wine in the shower, I could just sit back and relax. Right. And the time would go by so fast.
Exactly. Are you sick on the side of the tub up high, right at the water line, just above the water line?
Yeah.
And you're good to go. I love that.
Absolutely. Great idea. I might have to get one for myself.
Well, like I said, this is your budget gift. It's $14.99 if you're splurging for the highest rated one.
Nice. Well, what fun. Well, I love all these ideas, and I hope we've given all of you some great ideas, whether you're gifting, that hard to give, that what do I get that person who has everything in their life, or, somebody who really loves wine or is learning about wine. And we hope we've covered, a bunch of different budget levels
Yeah. And whether you're gifting someone you love or you're gifting yourself, big or small, these are hopefully fun gifts that fit the bill for you or someone else. And if you don't make it for the holidays, these can also be nice birthday gifts or anniversary gifts. So we hope that we have inspired you. And we just are grateful to all of you for listening to us throughout the year.
Absolutely. It's we do this for you guys. We love introducing all these fantastic people in wine who we've met along the way or who we've just met, and getting to share their stories with you. It's really something gratifying that we get to do.
So thank you for the gift of your loyalty, and thank you for sharing our podcast with your friends, for taking the time to give us a rating or a review. Those things make a huge difference for us in terms of spreading the word and trying to create even better content for this program.
Absolutely. And as we said earlier, you can find all of these gift ideas on our website, sipsiphoooraypodcast.com. It'll be in the show notes for this episode. And we'll also post them on our Instagram and Facebook at Sip Sip Hooray Podcast. One more thing. I forgot to do this when I was talking about the glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really not just beautiful, but I love the sound it makes when you're doing a cheers. So this is a cheers.
Oh, yes. That is lovely.
A nice holiday. It sounds like holiday bells.
Yeah. A little more mellow than Santa's bells, but yes. I'll take it. I like it. No, that's a great sound. And it sounds like the perfect time to say cheers to you, Mary Orland. Thanks for everything, and sip, sip, hooray, girl.
Cheers, Mary Babbitt. It's just been a great year on Sip, Sip, Hooray, and we're looking forward to another fantastic year in 2024.
All right. Thanks, y'all. Keep listening. Cheers.
Cheers.